Oh, baby. It's time to settle down. Settle down. And listen to the soothing sound. Oh, yeah. Tom and Emma. Oh, because this. Oh, my God, this. Oh, yeah, this. Oh, yeah, this is on a roll.
Hello and welcome back to On a Roll, where we take an unhealthy interest in an actor's filmography. I'm Tom, and joining me, as always, I say as always, it's only the second time we've done this, but joining me is...
Emma. Hello,
How are you? How are we?
Yeah, I'm good.
How are you feeling?
I feel drained.
Drained? What a way to start.
from watching so many films in such a short space of time.
I have to, yeah, it's been a lot, hasn't it?
The way we've planned this has meant Tom and I have had to watch quite a lot of films in not a long amount of time. Short amount?
It is a lot of Robert Pattinson, isn't
Yeah.
it? I know that you're a big fan.
I am, yeah.
You know, I'm an admirer of his work.
I mean, I like the guy.
But yeah, it's been a lot, hasn't it? But you know, we're going to power on through.
I mean, you did say to me earlier off the record that you're sick of his face.
That did come to me at one point. I can't remember which film I was watching, but yeah, I was like, oh God.
You again.
Hello, Robert.
Seriously, it's you again.
You again. You goddamn bastard. You beautiful bastard.
You beautiful flat-faced bastard.
I mean, look.
He does it like a shark. Have you ever thought about that?
A shark?
Yeah, he gives me shark energy.
What energy does a shark give off?
Whatever you get from Robert Pattinson, that.
Oh, right, okay. I'd say a shark gives me, I just want to kill you. Oh, you naughty boy. I just want to rip a piece right off you. Now, I will say that...
You'd look great in a soup. Shark fin soup.
No, that's illegal, isn't it?
I don't know.
Oh, where do they have it? I want to say China?
Yeah,
somewhere like that? Because, you know, it's quite... They literally put a shark's fin in a soup.
Yep, several, I think, to get the flavour.
It can't taste that nice, surely.
I would rather eat Robert Pattinson soup, personally.
I'm struggling there. When you say Robert Pattinson soup...
I realise how that's come out.
What are you saying to me there? Are you saying a soup made of Robert Pattinson, like, blended up? Or
I don't know.
Something else. I'll leave it to the listener's imagination what I mean there.
Right, well, however they make shark fin soup, but with loads of little Robert Pattinsons.
Robert Pattinson? Is that the plural for
Robert Pattinson soup?
What's a group of Robert Pattinsons called?
Oh,
you know, like
that's just hurt my head.
A group of crows is called a murder. A group of owls is called a parliament.
A gaggle of Roberts.
A gaggle of Roberts.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. A gaggle of Roberts. There you have it. That's the official group name for a group of Robert Pattinson. Is a gaggle. So we've watched a gaggle of Robert Pattinson films this week.
We have. Too many.
Okay. Which one should we start with?
Did you want to talk about them in chronological order?
Yeah. Let's go for that. So, well, I'll run off what we've watched this week. We've watched The Haunted Airman.
The Sword of Xanten. Yeah,
the Sword of Xanten. There's a little, we'll get onto it, but there's a little, not a cameo, he features quite heavily. There's a Sword of Xanten alumni. Xanten bro, I've got in my notes. Yeah. Then we move swiftly on to the Bad Mothers Handbook.
Yep. Featuring my favourite childhood actress, Catherine Tate.
Childhood actress?
Yeah, like when I was growing up, I loved Catherine Tate.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Not as much as Robert Pattinson, though.
No, oh, God, no.
I mean, I am a fan of Catherine Tate.
Yeah.
In fact, because... Well, I like her as an actress anyway, but she was in Doctor Who, and I've not mentioned this previously on the podcast, but I'm quite a large fan of Doctor Who.
A large fan?
Yeah.
He's a tall boy.
A tall boy, yeah. I like it a little bit, but I'm really big.
Yeah.
I've never been described as big in my life, apart from height. I'm Oh dear. Oh no, I've incriminated myself
here. Too much
here.
information.
Oh no. Oh, wow. That's taken a turn.
Moving on.
Do you know what? You may not know this, Emma, but there's a fair few Doctor Who links this week with all these films.
The only one I know is Catherine Tate.
Well, there you go. You didn't know. You didn't know, but remind me on each film and I'll tell you where the Doctor Who link is.
It's like some sort of quiz.
So you can wait with bated breath, listener, for that little nugget of information on each film.
Oh, God.
Yes, moving on from Bad Mothers Handbook, we have How to Be.
Yep. The most ungoogleable film of all time.
It's actually fairly Googleable.
Googleable.
I have thought initially that it would be quite hard to Google it, but no, you can find it because it's quite a weirdly named film. But, well, I don't know if my Google search has now shifted towards finding Robert Pattinson things.
I think it might be a case of, like, you searched it a lot that it's bringing it to the top of your
maybe.
searches now. Whereas when I first looked it up, because I wanted to look up some of the actors, I was typing in like how to be film, and it was just giving me like how to be a director, how to be a film producer.
Yeah, maybe, because now it suggests to me like how to be 2008 or whenever it came out.
Nice, you've cracked it.
Yeah, and then finally, Little Ashes.
Yep.
What a film.
What a film.
Right, so should we crack on?
Yes, crack on.
And start with The Haunted Airman.
Yeah.
Now, I said last week that I was quite excited for this film because it sounds quite interesting, quite intriguing.
I do like a spooky film.
A spooky film.
Yeah. Spooky.
Like, it was fairly spooky for me anyway.
I mean, I hate spiders.
Oh yeah. Oh,
and there's so many spiders in this film.
I did think that actually. I thought, yeah, Emma's not going to enjoy this because there is a lot.
Do you like spiders? They don't bother you.
They don't bother me so much, but I don't like them creeping over people or coming out of plug holes that they do in this film.
Oh yeah, it's grim.
I don't really get why they were there. Was he hallucinating them?
Well, I read up about. Basically, I went on the Amazon reviews for this film because I just wanted people to agree with me that it's awful, which everyone did. And there was a lot of people who'd read the book that it's based on, saying that the spiders are sent by some sort of ghost that's coming after him. But that's not apparent in the film. In the film, you just think...
He's going a bit mad.
Yeah, he's either going mad or he's just being harassed by a gaggle of spiders.
Yeah. I've got a review here of it. The end result is a hopelessly uninvolving piece of work that is unlikely to appeal to even the most ardent Pattinson fan. At a short running time, unable to disguise the aggressively underdeveloped nature of its pointless premise.
Ooh.
So that was angled directly at us. So even the biggest Robert Pattinson fan won't find much joy in this film. I mean, for the first half, I was quite involved. Because should we explain a little bit what it's about?
Yeah.
So Robert Pattinson is, I don't know if you got it from the title, but he's an airman, or a pilot, I should say.
Airman.
In World War II?
Some war.
And he's injured or something, so he's bound to a wheelchair, and he gets taken to this like house retreat where this doctor runs it, and it's for like injured or shell-shocked servicemen.
Yeah.
And he just goes a little bit insane, it seems.
And he seems to have a bit of a fixation on his hot aunt.
Yeah, but she's not actually related to him.
Well, do you know what? It's really funny. So he's got this really fit auntie, and she drops him off, and there's a little bit of chemistry there. And someone asks him about her, and one of the first things he says is he makes sure to clarify that she's not his aunt by blood. He's like, not by blood, by marriage. And I was thinking,
but he's
going to have sex with his aunt, isn't he?
Yeah, he also, in my notes I think I've got, is he shagging his aunt?
I was literally like, he's going to shag his aunt. I'm telling you right now, he's going to shag his aunt.
But he also says, because her last name's the same, and he's like, oh, yeah, she's Mrs. whatever his last name, but not in the biblical sense.
Yeah.
So he's like, I haven't shagged her yet, but
I will.
But she's not related to me by blood, so I could if I wanted. And I do want to, but I can't at the moment because I'm ill. But then later on in the film, the doctor also has an affair with her.
There's too much going on.
She's just putting it about a bit, it seems.
She's just hoeing it about.
She's a widow, isn't she, as well? So was she having an affair before? I'm
not going to lie to you, Tom. That film was so boring that I stopped paying attention after 45 minutes.
I was involved for a bit, and then I was like, when's it going to start to get spooky?
Mm-hmm.
Like, when's this going to be explained?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't really, but the doctor is like doing a few dodgy things, isn't he? Like, a few of the patients die unexpectedly and they like kill themselves, and it seems that he's like driving them to do it.
Yeah, because he keeps lurking around the corner and staring at them through the door.
And Robert Pattinson writes a load of letters to his aunt, like asking her to marry him and stuff. And he's like, why aren't you replying to me? Because he doesn't get any replies. And because it was like, I thought it was a horror film, I was like, oh, she's not real. She doesn't exist.
I thought the same thing. Like that doctor, I was like, he's a ghost. He's definitely a ghost.
To no one, but it never goes in that direction whatsoever.
Not enough ghosts.
It just turns out that the doctor is intercepting all his mail and stopping him sending the letters to her.
Dobby the house elf energy.
Because then he, like, one of the other servants or someone goes into town and manages to bring a letter back from her, and she's like, why aren't you writing to me?
Mm-hmm.
And the doctor's like, oh yeah, sorry, you weren't talking to me, but you were writing in your letters and talking to her about your problems. So
I was reading all your mail.
Because he's like haunted by the crimes of his past. Like, he keeps having visions of people that he's bombed or something. So then anyway, they invite her to the house, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh, you can stay here because it'll help him recover. And then she starts having an affair with the doctor. And then he like has visions of the doctor telling him to kill himself or something.
It's so weird.
So then he crawls all through the house, finds them having sex or something, and then he slits her throat. And that's just the end of the film.
Yeah, she just dies, and there's a really uncomfortable kind of sex scene, but not.
Oh, well, yeah, because he has like a dream or something about having sex with her, and then I can't remember which one of them is, but one of them grows horns or something while they're having sex, and it's not even like visual horror. It's just weird, isn't it? And
it's
then it's
just
gone.
like, right, okay, that happened.
Because a lot of it is like tension building. It's like, okay, this is building to something, this is building to something, and then nothing happens for an hour. The only time it got me was he has like a vision and he walks in and there's a coffin, and then he opens the coffin and his aunt is inside, but it like plays like a loud noise and goes
yeah.
and I was like, oh god.
Jump
like,
scare.
oh you bastard.
Yeah,
so that got me. But yeah, I didn't really like jump scares.
It was just not good at all in any capacity. It was so cheap. It just looked cheap and tacky.
What I will say is, I've said the first half I was with it. This was the last film that I watched. Obviously, this is the first film we're talking about. This is the last film that I watched of these 4 that we've watched.
It was, conversely, the first one I watched.
Right.
Of the 4.
So, and I say this with the deepest respect for Robert Pattinson. And I want everyone listening to know that I appreciate his acting, and I think he's a great actor. Mm-hmm. But having all the films we've watched so far, with the exception of Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, probably, this was the first film that convinced me he could actually act.
Do you know what?
Because it's the first film, the first film out of these that we've watched where he's actually acted normal. In fact, that's a little spoiler for the rest of the films we're going to talk about. But this is the only film where he's actually acting like a human being.
Yeah, the other ones are all like characters in the like rawest sense of the word. Like they're very specific characters. Like
almost caricature,
goofy or just goddamn weird. Whereas
he was actually having a normal conversation. And talking properly and moving like a human being. Yeah,
I just felt like his acting and like his general presence was like the best thing about the film, because the film was so bad.
And so we get into his aunt for a little hot second.
I mean, he got into his aunt.
Well, a lot of people did in this film. So on the DVD cover and throughout the film, she looks like, I can't for the life of me remember the actress's name.
The woman from Love Actually.
But she looks like the woman. She's a fairly well-known actress in the UK, at least, anyway. Mm-hmm. The one in Love Actually that gets with Hugh Grant. Yeah,
she looks just like her. I had to Google it because I was thinking they've got to be related.
So,
they're not.
So do you want to know an interesting fact about her? And here it is. Ding, 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 ding. Doctor Who, link number 1.
Oh, okay.
First of all, she is Diana Rigg's daughter in real life.
Cool.
Do you know Diana Rigg?
No.
She's recently died, but she's a fairly famous actress. She was in in the Avengers, the British Avengers. She was in Game of Thrones. She was in James Bond.
I want Cersei to know it was me.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Wow, I'm so sorry for saying I didn't know who she was.
Well, so she's Diana Rigg's daughter, and they were both in an episode of Doctor Who.
Which one?
It's called The Crimson Horror, which is a Matt Smith episode of Doctor Who. Also, for Doctor Who fact number 2, it was the 100th episode of the reboot of Doctor Who. And then fact number 3, linking it back to last week.
They just keep coming.
Do you know who wrote the episode?
Mark Gatiss?
Yes.
No.
So linking it back to last week.
No.
Oh, what a small televisual world it is.
Wow, Tom, you are just an absolute bottle of facts.
Gem. I'm an absolute gem, aren't I?
I couldn't think of like a container that has facts in it. I was going to say casket of facts.
Trivial Pursuit box.
But casket.
That contains facts.
Yeah, I mean, it does.
It does, I'm not wrong there.
No.
Dictionary. No. Encyclopedia. Just naming books. Thesaurus.
Please stop.
Phone book.
You're just a phone book of facts, Tom.
Doesn't... No.
I was only thinking casket because I did that government, what career should you have test earlier.
Retrain as.
And it told me I should be a funeral director.
Oh, right.
So
well,
I'm just thinking about dead people now.
And it's fitting for the Haunted Airman.
It is.
Because there's a few dead people in that.
There is, yeah.
So, yeah, I got excited a few times in it, thinking that, here's where the ghosts come in, and then there was just no ghosts.
No ghosts.
And he's not, I guess he's haunted by his past.
I'm haunted by how shit it was.
Should we give it a rating?
Oh, God, do we have to?
Is it a Robert Pat on the back or a Robert Shat on the back?
Shat.
Shat right down the back.
Shat right down my back.
Fucking back. Meat. I don't think there's anything else we can really say on that, is there?
No, listener, don't watch it.
Listener, beware.
Beware.
So what did I say was next? The Bad Mothers Handbook?
Yeah.
So should we crack on with that?
We shall.
So what's that about? What's it about?
Bad Mothers Handbook is about Catherine Tate and her daughter. Catherine Tate is all focused on her own, like, family history. She wants to know where she's from because she finds out she's adopted, and it's this whole thing. While her daughter is getting boned down in a teenage bedroom, then gets pregnant and
Which Catherine Tate did as well.
yeah,
She
which
got
Catherine
pregnant
Tate
early.
also did. And then her boyfriend's a piece of crap, so he leaves and he doesn't want anything to do with the baby. And then her goofy best friend, Robert Pattinson,
Who's randomly just moved to the area.
who randomly just comes to the area, comes and helps her on this journey. And then, I don't know, that's sort of
thing.
sort
They
of
all
it.
sort of just like make friends, don't they?
Yeah. Quite a nice film, really.
Yeah, I did enjoy it actually.
I liked it. Do you
Quite
know what?
enjoyed
I
it.
actually thought this is the first film I've watched out of all these Robert Pattinson films, other than Harry Potter, that I'd actually probably watch again.
Yeah, it's sort of feel good, isn't it?
It was, yeah.
Robert in it, like I say, is not acting like a human being. And also, this film starts a trend of, I think, the next 3 films where you can't see his face.
No, he's got a lot of hair. It reminded me
Lot
of you
hair
in school.
all over his face. I did have a lot of hair in school. I still have a fair bit of hair,
Yeah.
but not as much as I did in school.
No.
But it's just all over his face.
Mhm.
You can't. He's wearing glasses. He's really awkward.
And he's just like hunched over like a little
What was
gremlin.
that? There's a bit where that really made me laugh because it's a fairly funny film.
Yeah.
as well.
Oh my god. Are you gonna say the bit? What are you gonna say?
What?
You go first.
He like meets up with
With
the
the
girl and
girls.
her 2 friends, and they like have a bit of banter, and they're like, "All right, 4 eyes,"
And
or
he goes,
something. He goes,
"All right,
"All right,
slut."
slut."
I knew you'd find that funny because I creased. I absolutely creased.
Because it's just, it's not appropriate at all.
And he doesn't say it in like a nasty way. He like says it
He just
as
goes,
if he really
"Oh,
likes her.
oh, hello, slut.
And then he smiles.
I've never called anyone a slut in my life, let alone
She's
in
like,
banter.
what does she say? She's like, all right, like she calls him like a goofball or something.
Yeah, yeah,
all right,
yeah.
goofball, and he goes, all right, slut.
Total overkill there,
I was
Robert.
like, Robert, you naughty boy. Don't say that.
He tries to like get with the main girl, doesn't she? But she wants none of it.
Who's Holiday Granger? What the hell?
Oh yeah, Holiday Granger. We should mention that she's in this.
Yeah, she's
She's
really
the
good.
daughter.
She's really good.
I can't remember the actress who plays the nan either.
Diana Rigg.
No, it's not Diana Rigg. But she was also in Doctor Who.
Tom,
I tell you,
this is not the Doctor Who podcast.
I'm sorry. I'll save it.
You told me off last week for mentioning Christopher Eccleston.
I'm sorry. I know. Well, that sort of opened the door for me.
So
you know
is
what I
that the link as well as Catherine Tate?
Yeah.
I'm starting to think that everyone's been in Doctor Who.
There's another link to last week as well.
Oh god.
Because so Catherine Tate, she gets a new boyfriend in this film. Do you know who that actor is?
No, but I do recognise him.
It's Steve Pemberton of Inside Number 9 fame.
Oh my god.
So
We need more actors.
So
we need
yeah, if
more
anything,
actors.
I think this is highlighting the need for the BBC
Diversify people.
and just the film industry in general to use new actors.
Diversify. This isn't the MCU, okay?
But if you know there's a problem when I can link every film that we're watching back to Doctor Who.
It's like the 7 Degrees of Charlie Sheen or whatever it was. He used to play
Charlie
in school.
Sheen?
Was that not it?
Kevin Bacon,
Oh yeah. Why did I think?
Charlie Sheen went on all fucking snorking coke and got the hearts of tigers or whatever he said.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Why did I think it was
It's someone
Charlie
slightly
Sheen?
less problematic than Charlie Sheen, Kevin Bacon.
I think you could do 7 Degrees of Charlie Sheen.
If you go on Google, you can type in any actor and then put Bacon number next to it, and it'll tell you how many degrees of separation there are between them and I was going to say it then.
It is Charlie Sheen.
Kevin Bacon.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that, but
You
that's
know-
cool.
Look, some of us don't have a lot going on in their lives.
None of us do. We're in a pandemic, Tom.
Well, that is true. So yeah, if anyone's bored during lockdown 2.0, that's probably on its way.
Yeah.
Just
do a cheeky Google.
pick your favourite actor and find out their Bacon number. Let us know. Answer on a postcard. Yeah. So yeah, it's quite a heartwarming film. Also, I think I teared up during this film. Actually, it got me.
I did.
Because Catherine Tate goes and tries to find her birth mum after she finds out she's adopted, and it's this big life-changing moment, and she hates her mom for never telling her and all this. Then she finds out that her original parents, her birth parents, I should say, are neglectful, I guess. And
Her
she
adopted mum.
she had a sister that was neglected and died, and she goes and meets her birth mum, and
She's
her,
a fucking
and her mom's a
bitch. An absolute bitch.
and she's basically saying, "I'm not sorry that I killed the kid." Basically,
Yeah, it's so fucked
it's
up.
horrible.
I was just like, eh.
So that's quite heart-wrenching. And then as that happens, Holiday Granger goes into labour, and Catherine Tate's the other end of the country while that's happening. And she's treated her like shit for the entire length of her pregnancy, because she's like, "Oh, you've thrown your life away," and all this.
Yeah, but it's okay
But
because
then
she
they
had
all-
Rob.
But then they all get together in the end, and they're all happy. And
It's very sweet, and they have a party.
yeah, but then the nan has a stroke.
I chose to ignore that bit.
Sorry to piss on your chips there.
It was all happy except the Nan had a stroke.
Nan had a stroke.
Oh, poor Nan.
But she lives. She's fine. She'll make it to the end. Yeah, it's just a nice heartwarming film. It's not really...
It is nice, yeah. It's
not really anything offensive about it, apart from Robert Pattinson's dress sense in it.
Oh my god, he wears like that rainbow jumper, looks like an art teacher.
A massively long scarf that's got like bubbles on the end. That's what offended me.
Bubbles.
Yeah, I'd recommend watching it.
Yeah.
If you just want a nice little...
It's a nice Sunday morning.
Heartwarming time.
Heartwarming Sunday morning.
Bit of Catherine Tate doing a northern accent.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, I'll give it a pat on the back.
I give it a pat on the back.
Pat on the back from me. We need to come up with some more fun ones.
The Bad Mothers, or the Good Mothers Handbook.
The Good Mothers Handbook or the Bad Mothers Handbook.
It gets a Good Mothers Handbook from me.
There is maybe some bad parenting going on it.
Oh, so much.
But yeah, it all comes right in the end, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, except the Nan has a stroke.
Yeah, but she lives. And she doesn't seem that affected by it. She was pretty doddery beforehand, wasn't she?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Also a bit that made me cry is when they're like arguing and the daughter's having to go at her mom saying like, no wonder Nan hates you, and Nan's pretending not to listen, but she's actually crying in the chair.
Oh, yeah.
I was like,
oh.
Yeah, it's very sad.
Bless her.
Oh,
but also heartwarming. It isn't just sad, it is also heartwarming.
It is, yeah. Ups and downs, but it's good.
So that gets a pat on the back.
Yeah, pat on the back, Good Mother's Handbook. Very well done.
Well done, Rob.
Well done,
Good
Rob.
work there. Right, let's move on then to How to Be. Now, I don't know if you can hear from the hesitation in our voices. I don't really know how to describe this film.
It is a film about a neglected and yet somehow still overprivileged boy in his early 20s.
Yeah.
Who is like a beat poet and he fucking sucks and all his friends are twats and he just wants to figure out his life because he just doesn't know who he is and he needs to go on a gap year. So he gets a life coach from Canada who
really strange
is some old man to come to the UK and like teach him how to be happy again.
But it mainly turns out that it's all bullshit. Right?
Yeah, I was convinced for the whole film that the guy from Canada was a ghost.
No, other people interact with him, but it's an independent film.
Yeah, do you know what? I'm just going to say off the bat, I didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it, I guess, but
I found it quite funny, actually.
There was
the best friend really made me laugh.
Oh, the really awkward
he's such
one.
a twat.
Yeah. Oh, which one?
The best friend who's like, there's a scene where they decide to get in a band together and he's playing and he's like, come on, keep up. Do you not know how to play an E on the guitar? And he's like shouting at him. He's so funny.
I thought you meant the one that's like, oh, I'll get you a girlfriend.
Oh no, he's a knob.
Yeah. So he's got these two friends and it's an independent film, so it's got slightly less of a budget. But it's just really weird to me because there was times where I couldn't quite hear what was going on because the sound, it was like they didn't have an actual sound guy or whatever. It was like really far in the distance.
Yeah.
And also a lot of it felt very improvised.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've got that. Really awkward. And then sometimes it felt like they weren't acting, like they were just saying lines.
Yeah, it did.
Do you know what I mean?
It did feel a bit just like watching a college level drama on stage.
Yeah. Having said that, what film festival was it at? I've got it down. I've got it in my notes somewhere.
I did really enjoy just like the commentary of being in your early 20s and not knowing what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah. I have no joy in watching.
His parents are dicks in it as well, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh god, they're horrible.
Because he keeps like saying, "Why did you give me a shit childhood?" And they're like, "Stop making us feel bad."
Yeah.
And then eventually they're like, "Oh yeah, we did give you a shit childhood. Sorry, can we make up?" And by that point, he's like moved on. He finally starts his band, doesn't he? And he gets a happy ending. But yeah, it's really strange, the film. This is it.
Yeah.
It opened the 2008 Strasbourg International Film Festival. And our big boy, Robert Pattinson.
Big man Rob.
Big boy Rob. Big boy Robbie. He won Best Actor in a Feature for this role. So he won an award for it.
Fair enough.
I don't know if that's because he was the best actor in it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't much competition, was it?
No. But it's just a very strange film.
He has a very like toxic relationship with his parents, who he ends up having to live with because his girlfriend splits up with him. And at one point, he just crawls into bed with them, and
if you search the film
in bed.
That is like one of the images that comes up. I think one of the posters is him in bed with his parents.
Yeah, and he's like, we just don't get to do stuff like this very often, you know? And they're just there like, get the fuck out of bed.
He asks them to go for a walk with him so they can all bond, and they go and see his grandmother's grave or something. It's just very, very strange, very odd.
So weird.
But again, he's got very long hair and it's all over his face in this. I've got a quote here from the director because he had to alter his looks to make him less beautiful. Yeah. apparently the director said you're banned from cutting your hair between now and the shoot. And they had to give him the most awkward haircut they possibly could. And they also cut his trouser length too long to make him like look more dishevelled and geeky, so that he didn't look beautiful.
One question there. How do you cut something too long?
So they mean the cut of the trouser, I think. They didn't buy some jeans and then take some scissors to it and add a bit. That's not what he's saying there.
I was just like,
You know,
how does that work?
You know, you get like boot cut jeans.
Oh, yeah. I was just trying to imagine some magic scissors that add material onto things.
For fuck's sake.
I'm not a fucking tailor, Tom.
Also,
Tailor Tom.
he's saying here as well that they had to, because I didn't know that Robert Pattinson could play guitar or sing. Or
Did you
anything
not?
Like that. I didn't know any of that.
Okay, pause there real quick, Tom.
Okay.
Robert Pattinson, is on the Twilight soundtrack, which you will find out next week.
Is he?
Beautiful voice.
Twilight?
Beautiful, yeah.
Wow, as early as that?
It is.
Chef's kiss.
That was a chef's kiss, by the way. You obviously couldn't see what I was doing.
You just
hear me kissing. Yeah, wow. I can't believe that you didn't grow up listening to his, like, hippy dippy music.
Oh, yeah, I know, crazy, right?
Mad.
I can't believe that happened either. That I didn't spend hours listening to Robert Pattinson.
You didn't lie awake in your bed at night with the headphones on. Imagine he was singing to you.
I mean, honestly, wasted childhood I had.
Pathetic.
What was I thinking? What was I doing with my
You were too busy
time?
cutting things longer.
Watching Doctor Who.
Watching Doctor Who.
So yeah, they also had to get him to downplay his musical ability, because apparently he'd come up and start playing guitar or harmonica as he does in this film, and he was too good, so they were like, can you play shitter, please?
Do you know what? I was thinking when he's performing on the stage, the Rob I know can sing way better than this.
The Rob you know personally.
The Rob I know.
You know him so well that you can call him Rob.
Well, do you know what, Tom? Robert Pattinson is a bit of a mouthful when you're talking about him all day. Stop it, because if he ever listens to this, he's going to think I'm a pest.
If he ever listens to this, imagine.
You just can't risk it, Tom.
Risk it for a chocolate biscuit.
You can't risk it for a chocolate
If you were
ditty.
to meet Robert Pattinson, how would you act? What would you say to him? Would you call him Mr. Pattinson?
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. Would you curtsy?
Yeah. I would say, hold on tight, spider monkey.
What's that quote from?
Oh, Tom, you've got so much to
Have
learn.
I revealed? Have I played my hand too soon there?
You've got so much to learn.
Is that a Twilight quote?
It is.
Oh dear.
Oh, it is.
Oh dear. Yeah. So, spoiler alert, guys. Never seen Twilight.
Yeah.
So, I've seen the first one. I think they showed it us at school once, but I don't remember it. I've not seen any of the others.
It's
going
to be a treat
hold
for
on
you.
to your seats when we get to Twilight next week. Yeah. So, just a little fact for this. So, we've talked about the cast and how sometimes it seems like they're not acting.
Yeah.
One of my facts is casting for this film took over a year.
What?
That's how long they deliberated about the cast.
I was under the impression that they just picked whoever they found on the street to play most of the characters.
Well, so that's what I thought. One of the people who was up for the role of Robert Pattinson's character was Simon Amstell. I don't know if you know him.
Is that from In Between?
No, he's that's Simon Bird.
Did you hear the hesitation in my voice?
That's Simon Bird. And Simon Amstell
Amstell
used to present Nevermind the Buzzcocks.
Never seen it, dude.
You're
such a British TV.
Oh, I know all
kind
about
of guy.
it. I know all the ins and outs of the British TV
Never mind
scene.
the Buzzcocks, Doctor Who.
But Simon Amstell is quite funny, and he would suit this character well.
Okay.
But obviously, we're glad that Big Boy Rob. That's what I'm going to call him exclusively from now on, Big Boy Rob.
Is that what you'd say when you met him?
Yeah, all right, Big Boy.
Rob?
No, I just say Big Boy.
All right,
also,
Big Boy.
for anyone who's interested, boy is spelled B-O-I.
Boy?
Boy, maybe two eyes.
Boy?
If he's a big boy, then he's got two eyes. I mean, obviously Robert Pattinson's got two eyes, but I digress.
He's just a cyclops.
And then also, this was on the IMDb trivia. I feel like this must have been added recently.
Oh, God.
So his character in this is called Arthur.
Oh, but they call him Art.
Yeah, Art. But you see briefly when he's filling out some form or something that he goes to spell his last name and it begins with an F.
Oh.
So his name's Arthur F, right?
I read this, I think.
So both Robert Pattinson and Joaquin Phoenix, Batman and the Joker respectively, have played characters called Arthur F. Wow. Someone's been waiting.
That is the most tenuous fact.
To make that connection. Do you know what I mean?
That is the
They've been
most
sat there waiting
fact.
and waiting.
Yeah.
Someone is like a mega fan of this film, and then they've gone and seen Joker. Was Robert Pattinson announced as Batman when that came out?
It feels like it got announced about fucking 8 years ago.
Well, we're going to have to wait 10 years for the film to come out.
I know.
So.
Oh, don't, Tom. Just don't.
When we watch it in 2030, it finally comes out. So yeah, and he's gone, oh, Do you know what? Robert Pattinson also played someone called Arthur F.
Oh my
Isn't
God,
that
my
crazy?
time to shine. I'm going to go and
I
update
mean-
IMDb.
I mean, it's crazy enough that I've written it down and gone, oh, that is quite interesting. But
I read it and went, that's a stupid fact. And completely
it's the
ignored
kind
it.
of thing that I love, clearly. Maybe it was me. Oh, God. Oh, no, I'm losing my
Who am
mind.
I?
So, How to Be.
Yep.
Is it a Robert Pat on the back? A Robert Shat on the back for you? Or something else?
Do you know what, Tom? I'm going to give it a pat on the back. Yeah.
I might have to diverge from you here.
Really?
And give it a shat on the back.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I was expecting it to be so terrible and it wasn't actually that bad.
Which is interesting because it's actually, it's sort of fairly well received on like Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb and all
I think
that.
I liked just like how real it was. It was just so real, you know?
So visceral.
Just so visceral.
Oh,
It was just so relatable.
So I think my problem was I went into it
Because
thinking...
I too am a starving artist.
Oh, right. Okay, well,
Yeah.
there you go then.
So I get it, you know?
Yeah, you just...
And my poetry's shit as well.
You just understand him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think my problem was I thought it was going to be like a rom-commy type jobby.
Did you?
Yeah, I don't know why. Because when it started with him in the bed with the girl. Do you know what I mean? And
Oh,
they'd
yeah.
broken up, and I was like, oh, it's going to be him getting back together with the girl, and then it just seemed fairly aimless.
I think that my personal tip for enjoying films that look shit is to just have no expectations.
Go in with no expectations.
Zero expectations. My expectations were on the floor.
Okay.
So, you know.
I think it was just... I mean, I like weird stuff, but it just felt really weird, and I just couldn't get a handle on what the characters were doing. Like, there's that bit where the other best friend, not the one that you like, the one that's like, I'm going to get you a girlfriend,
Yeah.
is a bit of a dick to girls.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a bit that made me laugh. I'll come back to that. He is skateboarding, and then he
Yeah.
falls over, and he just sits there
and
on
he's
the
like,
ground and goes...
my elbow. Yeah, he's like
and cries.
crying.
It was really strange.
I think that's just trying to show that he's like, he talks the talk and he walks the walk, but he's actually just a little twat.
The bit that made me laugh was he brings round these two girls to Robert Pattinson. He's like doing this
Oh my God.
this
just
chatting up girls
remembered.
thing, and then he goes to Robert Pattinson, say something, and he's like going, oh yeah, girls, you're really hot, and then Robert Pattinson goes, I have an erection. So
You should have seen my face.
two for two.
I
on,
was like, holy crap.
Great lines from Robert Pattinson for Bad Mothers Handbook, and
Yeah.
we should write down a list of great quotes.
We should. I'll start right now. Let me get my phone.
So we've got hello slut.
Start strong.
Yeah, start as you mean to go on, Robert.
Hello, slut. I've got
And
an erection.
I've got an erection. Yeah, but is there any ones from last week? He didn't really have many lines, did he?
No. I mean, Vanity Fair, it wasn't even in it, as we've spoken about.
It can just be a hyphen, just
Goblet of Fire.
ellipsis.
It doesn't really say anything funny
More
in
things
that.
under the water.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah.
hold it under the water and mull
Mull
things
things
over.
over. Yeah.
Every time I'm like, oh, Cedric.
Oh, Cedric.
You dirty boy.
Yeah, so it's a shout on the back for me. And then I think this is going to be the one that I've got the most to say about. We'll move on to the finale.
The finale. Little Ashes.
My. Well.
3 holes in the ground.
Good joke.
So
Good
sorry.
joke. Oh.
I hate me for that.
So Little Ashes, what's that about?
Salvador Dali's relationship in uni.
Yeah, it was
think-
Salvador Dali's alleged homosexual relationship.
Yeah, because he had a wife, not in the film, but Salvador Dali is.
Well, she's in the film.
Is she in the film? Oh, yeah, with the
Yeah,
short
yeah,
hair.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But they weren't married in the film.
Yeah,
They
he said,
were.
this is my wife.
Oh,
This is my wife.
She's my wife.
So Salvador Dali. I don't know masses about him, but he's a surrealist painter, isn't he?
Yeah, with a twiddly moustache.
If anyone's still not sure who he is, it's the one with the mountain clocks.
Yeah,
That's him. It's more focused on the other guy's life, who's, for the life of me, I can't remember his name.
he's a poet, and
He's
he writes
a poet and he knows it.
poems.
Yeah, quite a famous poet, I think. But looking into the history of it, it was alleged for years and years and years that they had a homosexual relationship, and it
Yeah.
wasn't towards the end of Salvador Dali's life that he sort of admitted that maybe something happened.
Mhm.
And this film runs with that and goes, yeah, it did happen.
Yeah.
But Salvador Dali, quite a weird guy.
Oh, so weird. I mean, I knew he was weird anyway, just from like all the pictures of him. He just looks absolutely crazy, but
And
Robert Pattinson
and
really leans
that's
into
our, That's our boy Rob's job for
Yeah.
this. So, and the film itself is quite weird. I'm sort of like, I don't know where to begin, because there's lots that I want to talk about.
It starts off feeling like a bit of a coming of age drama, and it just
Yeah.
turns into the most like bizarre.
So
Film.
let's start at the beginning. Try and unpack this.
Yeah.
So Robert Pattinson shows up to art school with the worst wig known to man, worse even than his Sword of Zanten.
I was going to say, it's awful. And, like, he also holds himself very similarly to how he did in the Bad Mothers Handbook. He's just, hunched over, shy.
He's picking from his, dare I say, bad acting handbook.
Oh,
no, he's not bad acting.
No.
But what I would say is, his weird acting in this, because I've got in my notes, like, this is the Robert Pattinson's masterclass in weird acting.
Yeah.
His weird acting doesn't match up with the weirdness of Salvador Dali.
How so?
Do you know what I mean? Like, I felt there was bits where he was trying to be quirky and weird, but he wasn't acting quirky and weird. He was just acting like deranged, if that makes sense.
He was just acting like a complete nutter.
So he goes to art school and he meets Federico Garcia Lorca. So we'll call him Federico for ease.
Federico.
Yeah.
Federico, the pretty poet.
They all make mates, and it's it's the dawn of the new artist revolution or whatever. And there's also the war is imminent, isn't it? It's like sort of brewing. And they're all sort of a bit revolutionary and stuff. And they grow closer and closer. And one of their other friends, who's a filmmaker, he's quite homophobic. Mm-hmm. And that's like heavily highlighted to begin with. Yeah. But they grow closer and closer. And there's obviously like an attraction between them. And they kiss. Mm-hmm. But then Dali's like, no. And then they kiss again. And then they get interrupted. And then the third time, they like start to have sex. Yeah. And then he's like, no, this is too much for me.
And Rob just freaks out.
He's like, and he runs away, and then he goes. Can't do this. He goes to Paris, and he completely changes. Mm-hmm.
It's almost like a different character.
And also throughout this, there's a progression of like Robert Pattinson wigness. So like he starts off with this like
wigging hell.
I don't know. He just looks like he's got a black mop on his head. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's in his face, and then he gets rid of that, and he just looks like Robert Pattinson, but he's got black hair.
Can I just say, he looked absolutely fantastic when he cut his hair.
Also, going back briefly, dipping into the Haunted Airman, because it was the last one, I think it was the one where he actually looked like Robert Pattinson to me. Yeah. Which is why I maybe liked it a little bit more. Mm-hmm.
Because you're just in it for the Rob. For the big Rob.
I'm just in it for the big Rob.
For the big boy.
What can I say? So... Yeah, and then he goes to Paris, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm super straight now. I've got a wife," but he's being really weird.
Don't touch me, yeah. I've got a wife now.
Also throughout it all, this woman who's like a best friend of Federico has been trying to get with Federico, and he's just been like, "No, downplaying it or whatever." Yeah. And Dali goes and visits him, and then
oh god,
there's a really weird scene where they're having like an argument, and they start to kiss.
Yeah, and then
she
when his wife comes in.
She knocks on the door.
Oh, Tom, I had to look away.
And so she knocks on the door, and I think it's the first time they have sex. And she starts kissing him, and Robert Pattinson's like curled up in the corner.
I don't like it.
And she starts kissing him, and she's like, "Oh yeah, finally we're gonna have sex." And then, I'm sorry if this gets. I'm sorry if this gets a bit graphic, listener, but I'm gonna have to go there. So she then notices that Dali, Robert Pattinson, is in the corner.
Yeah, just watching them like a little bat.
And she's like, "What the? What's going?" And then she's like, "Oh, no, actually, let's go with it." So then they start having sex, and then it is the most graphic sex scene that I've ever seen in a film.
It's actually horrific, isn't it?
So I've got in my notes, I have seen this woman's arsehole. Because it is full frontal. She mounts him, and I saw her soul.
You saw her hole.
I saw
and
some.
Her soul.
I saw summit. If I could have taken a photo of my face, oh my god, it is brutal.
I can't believe you wrote that down.
I'll show. Do you want me?
I have seen this woman's hole.
Do you want to see my notes? I'll show you my notes.
Yeah, go on, show me.
Third one from the bottom, under the little ashes. You doubted me.
It just says, "I've seen her arsehole."
It's true, I have. And I felt violated by it. And then she's not into it because she sees Robert in the corner.
Yeah, she's not into
having a little tug. Trying to think of a nice way to say that. She looks over and sees him, so then she's not into it, but Federico is still into it, but he's like staring Robert out, and he's like, it's just really uncomfortable and just horrible, and I feel like there's lots of consent. And then,
oh my god,
as he completes,
I can't believe you've just expected me to move on after you said a little tug.
What do you want me to say?
I don't know.
Tommy Tank?
Dun 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 dun.
Oh god. What would you call it?
I don't know.
Should we move on? So anyway, as Federico finishes, so does Robert. Now
it is horrendous. I felt
Do you want me
sordid.
to make this a lot worse for you?
Yes.
This scene.
Oh my god, I'm crying. I'm actually crying.
So, in this scene, Robert Pattinson is sat in the corner doing whatever we've just described to himself. He has admitted in an interview since
Stop it.
he found it impossible to fake orgasm. So therefore, in that scene, he is really doing that to himself. I'll just let that sink in for a second. So, listener, if you ever wanted to know what it looks like, it's in the film Little Ashes. Emma, I'm going to have to speak for a little bit because I think Emma's just absolutely finished. She got
for want of a better phrase.
For want of a better phrase in the current situation.
I cannot. I'm so glad I didn't know that before because...
Well, when I found the fact, I was like, I really hope Emma's not found this because this is going to be golden if I get to tell you live on air.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Robert, what the hell?
There's also, earlier in the film, a scene where Robert strips naked. He's got the shit wig on. I think he does a little tuck between his legs.
He does,
and he pretends to be a lady.
Yeah, I sent you the video
yeah,
of that.
Yeah, you sent me the
yeah.
gif of that, yeah.
That was also on our Instagram story, people, so...
There's also a gif I want to find where he's Dali with, like, the full moustache. How to describe the moustache? He looks like the Go Compare man. Go Compare!
Is that who that's based on, do you reckon?
I thought that was, like, Pavarotti or something, because he's an opera singer, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
But he's doing, like, a really weird dance in the
Yeah, and he's, like,
background.
talking to himself.
Yeah,
But it's very strange.
Around. So, yeah, that happens. What else?
I'm honestly in shock from that whole conversation. I don't know how we can move past this now.
We entered this room.
I entered this room not knowing that I'd actually seen Robert Pattinson pleasuring himself, and I just don't feel like I can carry on with my day.
Do you feel a bit dirty now?
I do. I feel a little bit like, I don't know. I'm not a fan of knowing that.
So yeah, anyway, in the end, they go their separate ways after that. And then
they had no choice, did they?
Then Dali, like, turns into, like, a bit of a fascist.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame, really.
Yeah, because to begin with, he was, like, very radical and radical liberal.
Yeah.
But he's like saying that
he was all about the art.
He's there saying, yeah, he's all about the money in the end, and he says that it should all be about.
It's a shame.
Well, there's a bit as well. I think it's after the scene that we've just discussed. He runs out and shaves his head.
Oh my god!
And then paints himself blue, basically, or something. That
was the point where I texted you asking if you'd seen it yet.
Right.
Because I was like, I have to mention this, but
no, yeah. He shaves his head. Well, I assume Robert Pattinson didn't shave his head, so this is like another wig or prosthetic for Robert's head.
Prosthetic.
Where he's got a bald cap on, but he's bald. He's painting and he pretty much rubs himself in paint.
Yeah, and
he does it at the end as well.
Hysterically laughs.
Yeah, and then like has a fit on the floor or something. It's very strange. And then they don't really reconcile, but the other guy comes out, I think.
Yeah.
Federico comes out and he lives a happy life because the woman who is in love with him, she sort of realizes that he must be gay, and she says to him, you know, you need to do this for yourself. Like, it's quite a nice moment, a nicer moment from the film.
I think. Yeah, I liked that aspect of the film. I thought the film was just a bit slow in general, and like I don't think the like pretty Parisian and Spanish scenery could really save it.
There's a few reviews that I've read like that.
It did win a GLAAD Media Award though.
Oh, did it?
For like being a good gay movie.
So yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That scene there said to me, like, because I've watched a few films, and they're always about gay men where they have a female partner. And the female partner has to say to them, you need to go and like make yourself happy, you can't. But I've not often seen it the other way around.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I was just wondering why that is. Why is there not more films about gay women having to hide their sexuality?
Yeah.
And then
I don't know.
Do you know what I mean?
Interesting.
'Cause it's always about popular men, isn't it?
It's almost as though women are just the helpers. Helping men.
But that's what I'm saying is I think that there should be more of the other way around. The films I'm thinking of are Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
Not so, to a lesser extent, the Elton John one, Rocket Man.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as prevalent in that.
I want to say Love, Simon's a little bit like that.
Oh, I haven't
but it's
seen
not
that.
as bad. It is a great film, but it does always feel like there's always a girl on the scene who has to sort of help.
Is that because like women are generally more accepting of the sexuality, or
yeah, we're just great all round. We're just caregivers.
Or
Tom.
like, is it more generally accepted? Do you think? I'm getting a bit deep here, but that just came to me.
Yeah, it's a good point. You know, it's a really good point. Maybe that's just a less common dynamic.
Yeah.
Because how many straight men do you know that have got like gay girlfriends?
Well, but I don't know that many women that have gay boyfriends. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a good point.
I just think
it's a good
I was
point.
just thinking it's
more of a
strange
trope
that there's
at
not
this
more like
point.
celebrated.
Yeah, it's a trope at this point in films.
Yeah.
Which is a bit weird, isn't it? But I did like it.
No, I liked it. I liked it a lot. not the film as a whole.
But that aspect.
Yeah. And then
it was a very like love who you are, and like Salvador Dali, who turned into a fascist, who hated himself. You just thought you're a bit of a knob.
You're a knob.
And then the guy who embraced himself, you thought you're really sweet. So
yeah, I really liked Federico, but then unfortunately, because he's so outspoken and he's a great poet and he's getting to the people, the fascists kidnap him and murder him.
This is like the Nan had a stroke.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry to bring it down, but that's the end of the film, is that,
it is sad.
That he gets killed, and then Salvador Dali covers himself in black paint and has a freak out about it. But it's like, we didn't really learn from it, did you?
No, you just used it as another excuse to have a weird artistic meltdown.
Yeah, but it's still up for debate whether they did actually have, like, this love affair or not.
Yeah.
Shall I read you what Dali said on the subject?
Oh, yeah, please do.
He was homosexual, as everyone knows, and madly in love with me. He tried to screw me twice. I was extremely annoyed because I wasn't homosexual, and I wasn't interested in giving in. Besides, it hurts, so nothing came of it.
What the hell?
I believe he's talking about anal sex there.
Yeah.
But I felt awfully flattered vis-a-vis the prestige. Deep down, I felt that he was a great poet. And then this is the bit that gets me. I feel like Dali was very full of himself, because in this film,
sounds like a right prick.
In this film, he like goes to the art board, doesn't he? And he says that, all you people know nothing about art. All of your combined talent is about how much I've got in my fingernail or something.
Yeah.
He says, I did owe him a tiny bit of divine Dali's asshole. These are the words of the man himself. Shall I just move on from that? I'll let that sit with everyone at home.
I just can't get my head around how that even makes sense.
So he felt, because he was a good poet, and he made him feel things that, all right, I'm not gay, but I'll give him a little bit anyway.
I'll give him a bit of my
I'll
arsehole.
throw him a bone.
Throw him a hole.
Yeah. So clearly something did happen between them.
Wow.
But he's trying to downplay it, I still feel.
Sounds like a right knob.
Yeah. So Little Ashes.
I'm lost for words.
Pat on the back. Shat on the back. It's a weird one, isn't it? I really don't know. I think it's possibly more of a shat on the back.
Yeah, I think
it scarred me, certainly.
It had potential. It didn't quite meet it.
Yeah.
It's a shat on the back from me. Not a big shat, just like a plop.
I mean, you got to give it to him. He did do some good weird acting,
and he did actually masturbate on camera.
I mean, he gave it for his art.
He gave it his all.
I mean, fair enough. Do it if you've got to do what you got to do, Rob. But don't tell someone. Don't tell anyone.
He just don't give a shit, though, does he? That's why we love him.
I suppose. But it just makes it a little bit strange, doesn't it?
I'm never ever watching it again, that's for sure.
You're not even out of curiosity?
Maybe I'll just go back to that bit.
Yeah.
Just to check. Like, is this authentic?
Oh, yeah, and that's the moment.
Oh, okay, I see.
And there we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
excellent.
There we have it. So now we've got to move on to the official Robert Pattinson ranking.
Robert Pattinson ranking?
The ORPR. ORPR.
ORPR?
Official, yeah. So, shall I break down where it stands at the moment?
Yeah.
So it's currently top of the list, Goblet of Fire.
Mm-hmm.
Second in the list, Vanity Fair. Bottom of the list, Sword of Zanten.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got 4 films to put into it.
Wow, okay.
What are you thinking? Let's start with Haunted Airman.
That can go straight to the bottom.
Worse than the Sword of Zanten.
Worse than Sword of Zanten, because although it was shorter, it felt longer.
Careful. This podcast is littered. I think it's just terrible.
More innuendos than the bacon.
Yeah, wow.
And I also just feel like there was no dragons in it, so...
Is a dragon a must for you?
It's not a must.
I don't...
It's not a
must.
must.
A lot of these films didn't have dragons in.
Yeah, but 2 of them do.
True.
And that's worth noting.
Okay, so that's going bottom.
In my opinion.
Yeah, I'll go with you on it.
Yeah.
We'll negotiate and
yeah.
come to a consensus.
Like a game of Monopoly.
The Bad Mothers Handbook.
I really do enjoy that film.
I would say that's got to go in number 2 at the moment.
Put it above Vanity Fair.
Yeah, it's better than Vanity Fair.
For sure.
I would watch it again.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't watch Vanity Fair again.
Oh, hell no.
Okay, so that's an easy sort. What was next? How to Be.
How to Be. I enjoyed more than Sword of Zanten.
Okay.
But I think it's worse than Vanity Fair.
Okay, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And then...
Objectively worse. I just want to say I prefer it to Vanity Fair.
Okay.
But I know it's not better than Vanity Fair.
Yeah. Okay. And Little Ashes.
That needs its whole other list. Like, that doesn't belong on this list.
I don't really know where it would go. It's better than Sword of Zanten?
Better than Sword of Zanten.
It's got the comedy value of, you can tell people that Robert Pattinson's wanking in it. Maybe it's a story that people need to hear, I don't know.
Yeah.
But Better than How to Be, worse than How to Be.
Better.
Better than How to Be. So
Yeah.
it's one above How to Be.
Yeah.
What was above that?
We should have really written these down.
Yeah, we should write these down.
Yeah.
So it goes: Goblet of Fire, Bad Mothers Handbook, Vanity Fair. Is Little Ashes better than Vanity Fair?
Yes.
Okay, so Little Ashes is third on the list then.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Wow.
Isn't it crazy how when you put them all together,
Yeah,
the one you thought was actually not that good
It creeps
climbs
up there. It creeps up there.
It does. That started to feel a bit like a game of this is what I got from the supermarket. Because I couldn't remember.
You couldn't remember the films?
No.
Well, I'll make an official list for next time.
I went to the shop and I got Sword of Xanten and Vanity Fair.
You played that one where you have to work out what the secret rule is.
No.
So it's like, I think it's an acting game. But I would say, if I said to you, I went to the shop and I took a teapot,
Mm-hmm.
and then you'd say, what would you take to the shop?
What, take there or take from the shop?
Oh, I've done the game wrong. Bought from the shop.
Oh, okay. I went to the shop and I bought a teapot and a bag for life.
Oh, you can't buy a bag for life.
Ah.
But if I went to the shop, I'd buy a teapot and I would buy some Tipex.
What the hell?
What would you buy?
Okay, so I went to the shop and I bought a teapot, some Tipex, and a Mars bar.
You couldn't buy a Mars bar.
What the fuck, Tom?
You also couldn't buy a teapot and some Tipex.
Because you...
I can buy a teapot and Tipex, but you can't.
Is the rule that my card is declined every
No.
time I go?
You could buy some eggs.
How is that different from a Mars bar?
You could buy some elastic bands.
Okay, I went to the shop and I bought a teapot, some Tipex, and a pair of shoes.
You couldn't buy a pair of shoes.
Tom, what are you on about? I'm fuming.
So the rule is it has to start with the first letter of your name.
Oh.
You see?
Oh.
But you have to work out what... It would be more obvious if there was more of us playing it. This will all get cut out, by the way.
So, did you... I think you should leave it in. So, did you just make up that rule, or is that always the rule?
Yeah, no, there's different rules for each round.
Wow. That was
So
thrilling.
it could be that it would be the first letter of my last name.
That was honestly thrilling.
Yeah, it was great trying to watch you work it out.
I really enjoyed that.
Or sometimes a fun one to do is you do a couple of rounds and then you pick one person and it's anyone can buy anything they want apart from that person. So everyone's going, yeah, you can buy that. And there's this one person going, I can't work out what the rule is. I can't work it out.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm going to cut all of that.
Before we finish, would you like to hear the second Robert Pattinson fact?
Oh yeah, give me Robert Pattinson fact number 2. Robert Pattinson fact of the week.
We were meant to sort our harmonies out,
No, it's fine,
damn
it's
it.
fine.
Okay, so during a 2020 appearance, it's very current, Pattinson told the host of Late Night with Seth Meyers, who I assume is Seth Meyers.
How did you work that out?
It's just a guess.
Oh, right.
Just hazard a guess. He told Seth Meyers that when he was younger, he wanted to be a rapper, and he still kind of does. His rap name, when he was younger, was Big Tub.
Not Big Boy.
Part of Big Tub and the Tabby Cats. And he did actually record a few unreleased rap mixes.
Sorry, Big Tub and the Tabby Cats.
Yep, that was his rap group.
Big Tub and the Tabby Cats releasing some fresh new raps. There
Yeah,
you go.
boy.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy.
Well, on that bombshell, I think we should probably wrap it up.
Yeah, Big
Wrap
Tub.
it up.
Oh,
Like Big Tubs and the
very
Tabby
nice.
Cats.
Very nice.
And we'll wrap it up. So, yeah, if you've got any thoughts on the films that we've watched, if you fancy giving Little Ashes a watch, see Robert...
We all know that you're all just going to go and watch that
See
scene.
Big Tubs giving it a big tug.
Big tugs.
Then let us know. Where can they contact us?
You can contact us at On a Roll on Instagram
At
and
On a Roll
Twitter.
Pod.
At On a Roll Pod,
We
yeah.
got it wrong last time.
Yeah, don't at On a Roll. At On a Roll Pod
Yeah.
on Twitter and Instagram.
That's our handle on everything, at On a Roll Pod. Email us
Yeah.
at honarollpod@gmail.com. And I think that's about it, isn't it? That's all the places they can contact us.
Yeah, let us know what you thought.
If you've enjoyed this, as always, give us a rating. Rate us 5 stars.
Yeah, and like I said before, if you didn't enjoy it, just rate it 5 stars anyway.
And just leave us a little comment. Let us know what you enjoyed and what your favourite Robert Pattinson film is. And also, obviously we're talking about Robert Pattinson this series, but we're going to run out of films eventually. If you have an actor that is a particular favourite of yours and you would like us to watch all of their films so that you don't have to,
Yeah.
you can suggest that to us as well.
Yeah, so if you do want to suggest Shia LaBeouf, then please do.
Emma really wants us to do Shia LaBeouf, so that if you're a Shia LaBeouf fan, that's probably coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just let us know.
Yeah.
And thank you again for listening.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
I hope that us talking about Robert Pattinson, pleasuring himself, me seeing a woman's arsehole, won't haunt your dreams too much.
Haunted Airman.
But
Big
yeah,
Tug's going to haunt my
Just try
dreams.
and wipe it from your mind. But next week, by the way, we'll be starting the Twilight franchise. So you've got that to look forward to. Emma's punching the air.
I am.
I'm a little bit
Yes.
trepidatious about the task of watching Twilight for the first time.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it'll be an enjoyable ride. But until then, we will see you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.